Well, here's a little food for thought. That's right. Food for your mind to meditate on. Here we go. Food for thought. I just did a lunch nugget based off of me opening up this book. Well, as I'm reading this chapter, because I don't just do the nugget and go away, I'm going to read this. I want to investigate. But I just give you that nugget off the top, see, for my lunch nugget. Well, now here's some food for thought, buddy. I'm reading into this thing, and it says over here in chapter 16, verse 13 says, Watch you, stand fast in the faith. Quiet you like men. Be strong. Let all your things be done with charity. I beseech you, brethren, you know the house of Stephanus, that it is the first fruits of Hei. In other words, they're the first people that repented of their sins and started serving Jesus. And now they have a house church in Hei. Kind of like our little house church in McLeansboro. Let's see what they're doing. Because the McLeansboro church would be the first fruits of McLeansboro, I presume. I mean, we are still keeping church there, right? I challenge you to go read this chapter. I challenge you, no matter who you are, go read this chapter about the saints and what's supposed to be happening for them brothers that are out there laboring in the vineyard. Out there trying to get souls saved and start churches and, read. Check this out. He says right here, I beseech you, brethren, you know the house of Stephanus, and it is the first fruits of Hei, and that they have addicted themselves to the ministry of the saints. This is beautiful to me. This is rather beautiful to me. I got 2 daughters out there right now that have addicted themselves to the ministry. That's right, they're supporting the ministry. We got some brothers out here spreading the good news, the good word of truth, testing all things through the word of our Father, through Jesus Christ. And they have, what does it say? Addicted themselves to the ministry by helping with the, what's it called? Social media, which is beautiful. That's very beautiful. But let's go on and keep reading. He says, addicted themselves to the ministry of the saints. Not just one. Saints, plural. There's a group of these fellas. Let's see who they are. If you read through this chapter, you're going to see Stephanus. You're going to see Apollos. You're going to see Achias. I cannot say these names, but there's a lot of brothers here they're supporting that are traveling into these house churches so they can come and go. The only thing God rained from heaven was manna, not dollars. Them come from your fellow servant. Okay, let's look on here. They submitted themselves unto such. Okay, verse 16 is the last verse. They submitted themselves unto such, and to every one that helpeth with us and laborers. You hear that? You hear that? I'm going to read that one more time so you get it. He says, I'm going to read this in a whole so you can get the whole thing. Starting at verse 13. Watch you, stand fast in the faith. Quiet you like men. Be strong. Let all your things be done with charity. I beseech you, brethren, you know the house of Stephanus, that it is the first fruits of Hei, and that they have addicted themselves to the ministry of the saints, that you submit yourself unto such. Unto such? What's he saying? Yes, you submit yourself unto such like people. People that are being obedient to God and His Word. People that are supporting the saints in their comings and their goings. I'm not talking about the mega churches. I'm not talking about the big old churches. I'm talking about the saints. I'm talking about those men that are trying to travel and go here and there and tell people about Jesus. Just like we have the men coming into the house church in McLeansboro. I know one day when the Lord returns and all the smoke clears and He is ruling and reigning and we are dwelling with our Father, the unseen God, that we're going to be sitting and reading about the first fruits of McLeansboro. That little church, just like I'm reading about HEI. We're going to read about McLeansboro. We're going to read about Missouri. We're going to read about all these other little house churches that these brothers are out there traveling around being missionaries where they are. We're going to read about all this. We really are. So there's a little food for thought for you. There's a little food for thought that coincides with that lunch nugget. You guys have a wonderful day. Please go read chapter 16 of 1 Corinthians and see how they loved their teachers, their saints. Now, they weren't no different than the people they were teaching because we're all saints. But you hear who he's referring to. He's referring to those traveling. He's referring to those abroad and how they're going to come and they're going to go. Well, they can only come and only go if they're being financially supported by the church. A little food for thought. You guys have a wonderful day.